Howdy, folks. Welcome to this week's Ag Report. This week we have a special guest, our state representative, Ellzey from Ellis County, represents Henderson County as well. And he's taken some time with us to kind of talk about some issues related to agriculture that are going through the Texas Legislature. I appreciate you joining with us, and I appreciate you. Love the background. I'm hauling pigs today, so I'm in the pickup. But hey, we can still have a good conversation about important agriculture stuff.
Good to be with you. Thanks for hosting me today. I can't wait to get back to Austin and start going back to work. And I think we'll have some more consistent work. We've been off for 2 weeks, and we'll go back next Tuesday. And then as we get closer to March, we should be getting committee assignments very soon. And so expect to start working on some committees too and getting the real work done. You know, the first 60 days, nothing ever happens except for folks being proclamations and notifications. Congratulations on your 50th anniversary. Obviously, this is a great time for everybody to get well, to get the vaccine. And that way, when the business really starts, we can all be closer together and feel more secure about it. I want to point out that that legislators are not getting the vaccine as 1A or 1B, and I think that's a good leadership from the top, saying nope, we're not essential. Let's get those essential folks vaccinated before we do. And you guys know I'm an airline pilot, and I'm pretty convinced that my fellow aviators and I, a year ago, before we knew this thing was here, had this. I never get sick, and I was sick for a month. But nevertheless, we're taking precautions in the Austin office and in our local office. But you can always come find me in my office in Austin.
Well, good deal. Well, thanks for sharing that in there. Didn't know that. So 9 years ago, the high-speed rail kind of came onto the scene. That's probably one of those things that I guess you could say you've inherited with the office. Lots of gone on over the last 9-8 years or so on that. Currently, what is that kind of looking like? That's an important thing coming through Ellis County. Lots of concerns about access with farmland and things like that being split. What do you know is kind of going on? Where is that currently?
Well, I've been very consistent since I first ran in 2014, being against the high-speed rail. It would put a stake in the heart of Ellis County and indeed through the agricultural areas of Texas. It's been very, very quiet. If the airline industry is in such difficult times because demand is low, does anybody really think that anybody wants to get on a train either? I think the louder they get, the closer it gets to not being a reality. And I think right now, with the recognition that this isn't going to be privately funded, and we knew it wouldn't be, and I think that the things that we predicted many years ago, you especially when this first started, are coming to fruition on the fact that it's not a private industry. It doesn't make any money. There's no demand signal. They could never pay it off. It's like buying a $60 million stadium for high school. It's never going to pay itself off, right? So there's no demand signal on a passenger side right now for anything like this. I could go on and on about this, and I have, but I'm working very closely with our rural state representatives, Congressman Brady from Houston, who's vehemently against this and has a great deal of power, Congressman Ron Wright, our congressman here in Ellis County. I get a very good feeling that they're kind of recognizing that the end is nigh. There's not many things that come out of this COVID disaster that are any good, but there are silver linings. One is suddenly the advent of Zoom, where we can have this meeting effectively, although not in person, which I'd much rather have a cup of coffee with you, but we can do this. But secondly, we're seeing where the hierarchy of needs actually is. There's no demand signal for this train, and it's an expensive boondoggle. And I haven't had anybody approach me since I've been inaugurated, any lobbyists asking me to support this venture. So I'm cautiously optimistic that this thing is dying, and nevertheless, we will ensure with state reps like Ben Lamont and the other from Grimes County and the other rural state reps that this thing is not going to happen. The protestations to the contrary from folks who have the ear of the media in Dallas and Houston notwithstanding, they're not being upfront about the ability they have to start this. So if you want to break ground on land you own, you can do that anywhere you want to, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to build a railroad or a train or whatever you want to call it. So there's a lot of court cases pending. This just keeps going and going and going. And to his credit, the governor walked back his letter that came out several months ago on the ability that the train had to begin construction and how much support there is from his office in that regard. And so I think I'm cautiously optimistic that this isn't going to happen. And I've told people that as your state rep, this opportunity to serve is merely that. And this is the one issue that I'm willing to stake everything on. This is my number one. I will do everything that's within my power and die on that hill if necessary, so to speak, to make sure that this doesn't happen. And I'm consistent in that. So that's my, you guys are my friends. I grew up in an ag community. This would destroy the breadbasket of Texas. And we know it. And so let's kill it. Let's put it away.
We appreciate that support and appreciate those insights there. You know, another big thing for all of Texas and especially Ellis County, the feral hog issue. You know, it's not going away. It's growing. You know, no matter where you are, I would say everybody has seen feral hogs, whether that's, you know, crossing the golf course or your neighborhoods or out in rural, you know, America, even traveling down the road and you know, the damage that they do to cars being struck, you know, after dark and everything. So you know, some legislation kind of coming through there. Looks like if it can get a rider taken off of the bill that's in the appropriations committee, we should have some maybe a ray of hope on the horizon for you know an attractant, a bait to help combat these things.
Well, I you know, you haven't even touched on the numbers, but if we were to tell somebody that in any industry over the course of 5 years, you've lost over $1 billion in revenue due to damage from feral hogs, a destructive force. Let's say we did that to the airline industry, the oil and gas industry, where every year they had to do $230 million worth of repairs to a pipeline just in the state of Texas. You can be dang sure that there would be effective measures in place to ensure that that doesn't happen anymore. That is, and especially in the farming community, that's real dollars that can put you out of business. There's not enough hunters or helicopters in the state of Texas to control this population. One of the double-edged swords of our legislature is, yes, we can only meet for 6 months every 2 years. And that gives you time to see the efficacy or the failure rate of legislation that's put into place. But it also means that there's not busy work. So you put a law in place, you put measures in place to see how effective they are. And we are at risk in another 2 years of a tipping point where it is uncontrollable. And then and people are at risk. Literally, their lives are at risk because of these dangerous animals, and they are dangerous. So let's take those riders out of the appropriation bill. Let's be able to effectively take care of these feral hogs in a way that is effective and safe. And the warfarin is effective and safe. And I think we can revisit that this year. And I will be urging my colleagues to do that both in the House and the Senate so that we can get this population under control. Because we're reaching a point where if it's $230 million a year right now and they're still growing in their population, that number is just going to go up. And at some point, it's unsustainable and uncontrollable. So we need to get we need to get that under control immediately. And right now, if we pass any laws according to this, they won't even go into effect until August. So we need to get that done this session. There is business that needs to be done other than just the budget and redistricting, but at least it's on the appropriations side of the house, so it will be addressed. And I look forward to being an advocate for this measure to get the hog population under control.
We really appreciate that support, and another thing I wanted to say thank you back. Thank you from the families of agriculture. You have agreed to be our sponsor for the Texas Agriculture Memorial Day. And what that means to folks is each year we hold a ceremony in the state capitol, and we have to have legislative help to do that. We have to have sponsors to allow us to use the Capitol auditorium to honor those families, and the legislative room that we feed those families in on there. And that's all of that. It takes place through private donations on there. There's no tax dollars used, but it does require a quote sponsorship, and we appreciate you being our sponsor now for those activities. Lord willing, COVID will subside, and we'll be able to have our ceremony this fall. But we have to start and work towards that. And I just want to say thank you for that from the folks of Texas, those families.
Well, you don't need to thank me. Just I'm appreciative of you all for asking me to do that. That's a real privilege, and that's something I look forward to. And I think by the fall, we're going to be operating on 100%. Maybe we'll see these masks go away. Who remembers it's like, do you remember a time before ATMs? No. And this mask issue is kind of the same way. But at some point, they're going to go away, and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine will be coming out. And I look forward to seeing people and their smiling faces, other than veiled, at this ceremony come August. And it's my honor and privilege to be able to do whatever I can to support that day for y'all. So no ask is too big in that regard. And I appreciate you asking me.
Well, thank you very much. And so as we kind of wrap up, if you want to share with us how your constituents can reach out to you and your office location, that kind of stuff.
My email address is jake.ellzey, E-L-L-Z as in zebra, E-Y, at house.texas.gov, G-O-V. Our phone number in Austin is 512-463-0516. Our phone number in Waxahachie is 972-938-9392. We're at 2001 Bates Drive, Suite 120 in Waxahachie, on 287 and Ovilla Road. And I am in E1.208 in the Capitol. My office is open for business. You can come in and come see us. Some offices aren't open, but ours are. And we'd be happy to see you there. And it's very easy to find. It's right next to the grill in the Capitol. And very, very easy to find. You should be able to get in touch with me, and me or a member of my staff will get back to you. And actually, they're not my staff, they're yours. We're here to work for you and be very responsive to you. I know that at a time like this, with a new administration in Washington, with social unrest, people hurting for jobs, and a lot of uncertainty about the future, we're here for you. And so doesn't matter what the issue is, call us. We'll get back to you. And if we can't find you the answer, we will direct you in the direction that you can get an answer. So that is, we're here to work for you. And that's my solemn promise to you.
Well, thank you very much for taking some time out of your busy schedule to talk to us today. Look forward to working with Julie. She has been a great asset in the past. Like you say, very responsive. She always gets back, even with the hard questions. Sometimes those phone calls are hard to make back, but she does a great job running the office and everything. Look forward to that. Look forward to seeing you in Austin. We appreciate everything. And folks, if you have any questions, there's information there on Representative Ellzey, how to get in touch with him, or reach out to the Waxahachie Sun. I hope you've enjoyed this version of the Ag Report with Texas Legislative Representative Jake Ellzey. Y'all take care now.